Learn your multiplication stable.
Stable?
On today's Call Help.
I hope these people can help me with my computer. A technician will be with you in 4 hours. 4 hours?
You can upgrade for just $5,000.
What?
The Universal Serial Config board should be set to ID 6.
I need that in plain English. Help!
Leo Laporte to call for help. May I help you? So we can make sense. Welcome to Call for Help. How are you? Leo Laporte here with my little partner here, Monica Latanwa, in the cowboy hat. Were you just back from the Stampede?
Howdy.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw!
I like it. It's very cute.
That suits you.
Yeah. And Andy Walker. Are you a Capricorn, by the way, Monica? This
I
is
am.
Capricorn. That
Yep.
means your birthday's coming up pretty soon, huh? You want to share it with us so we can all send you cards and cakes and candies?
And gadgets.
And gadgets? What would you like for your birthday? Not that I'm offering.
I'd like a new phone.
Yeah, what happened to your phone, by the way? I noticed you don't have your cell phone today.
It had an accident.
Yeah? What happened? That's so mean of me.
Oh, it is. It's good, though. It's a good story.
So I'll explain it for you. Okay. This happens to everybody from
Does
time
it,
to time.
though?
Yeah. Well, pagers and cell phones you clip on your belt, right? So sometimes, nature calls and you got to loosen your belt. And if you forget you got the cell phone or the pager on the belt, bye-bye cell phone and pager. Is that what happened to you? Plump, plump. So,
Did you flush?
yeah, what do you do?
I flushed before.
What do? You can't really flush a cell phone down there.
Yeah.
No?
You have to reach for it.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
And
That's enough of
the
that.
worst part is trying to walk out of the stall without looking stupid.
Right, with a dripping cell phone. Well, okay.
That's like on a future show, right? You did the wet laptop thing? What do you do?
So we now know what Monica wants for her
The
birthday.
poopy.
Anti-toilet cell phone.
Yeah, there you go. A floating cell phone. Do they make sport phones like they're waterproof?
Somebody does.
Somebody must.
Yeah, they make the floaty wrappers.
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
can get,
like the yellow
body glove.
Yeah, body glove.
So there you go. So maybe you need a toilet floaty.
That's what she needs. She
cell
needs a
phone
body
wrapper.
glove. for a
Excuse
cell
me,
phone.
Leo.
Yes, Vac.
What do we get in the control room for our birthdays?
When's your birthday? Is it coming up, Vac?
I can't give that information out.
Because he's so old.
He's old.
He's old. I will give you something very nice for your birthday. But I'll tell you what
How
I'm
old
going to
is
give
that?
everybody right now. How old?
12
How
times
old
12.
is that?
12 times 12? Wow. I'll tell you what I'm going to give everybody right now, and that's a great show for the next hour. Call for Help is on the air to help you with your personal confuser. Coming up, how to fix a flaky Wi-Fi connection. This is a problem with Windows XP a lot of people are experiencing. Andy has the fix for you. Plus, Hub and Total Gamer magazine editor Andrew Moore Crispin is here. He's going to talk about doing music on the PS2 and Xbox.
Ooh.
That's kind of neat. I
like
thought it was
that.
just for games.
gonna be
And
fun.
a world of funny jokes, pics, and videos, and sometimes disturbing stuff too. Ebaums World. That's Monica's pick of the day. Yeah, my kids are into this. Ebaums World.
Everyone's into
It's.
it.
Are you going to show some of the videos?
I'm going to show you some clean videos.
She got me the other day.
Yeah, I did.
Is this the source of? This is where you get the videos that you email around. Yeah.
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 I sent him a nice
We'll find out
link.
about that later.
Okay.
Let's get our first caller of the day on there.
Okay, he's been waiting a while, so...
He has. Poor Trevor.
Yeah, poor Trevor. We got Trevor, and he's from Toronto.
Oh, very patient guy. Hey, Trevor, welcome to the show.
Hi, Leo.
Let me walk on over here to my... Hey, Basil, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, welcome to the show. Nice to have you here. All right, Trevor, thank you for being so very, very patient. We were having a little trouble here getting things working, but we're all set now. Thank you for waiting. What can I do for you today?
Well, I've been looking into getting a new laptop for school.
Yes.
And I've, for the program I'm going into, I'm going to need Unix. And the Unix program, I was really looking at OS 10, really,
Right,
as
yeah.
a possibility, because
Good.
I wanted to get away from Mac, from Windows to go back to my Mac root.
You could, there's two ways to go on this. You can get a laptop and run Linux, which is really just another form of Unix. Or you could go with an Apple laptop and run OS 10, which has BSD, which is really actually real Linux underneath the hood. Either way, you're going to get that Unix command line. Are you going to be studying programming? What are you going to be studying?
Well, I had already gotten my degree, and I'm just trying to get a certificate program, but all my computers are like from the past. So
Ancient history.
A new computer that would at least work with the Wi-Fi hotspots that are on the campus.
Yeah,
and take advantage of that.
That's actually a really good point. Is that any modern laptop though is going to work with Wi-Fi. I think you're right that Windows probably isn't the right thing if you want to use Unix. There are things like Cygwin, C-Y-G-W-I-N, that allow you to get a Unix command line on Windows and run most Unix applications. That's kind of cool, and that's free. I'll put a link to that in the show notes. But you know me. I'm not going to miss an opportunity to plug the Mac. I'm a big Mac fan these days. And I'll tell you what, it gives. I'm going to open the terminal. This is the terminal in Mac, and this is Bash running on OS 10. And I'm telling you, anything that you want to do that's a Linux command, you can do here.
I barely had exposure to Unix when I was in school, so I wanted, and I didn't have a free computer to actually put in Linux on. So
right. Well, you've got grep on here. You've got sed. You've got awk. You've got all of the commands that you would expect on a Unix box, and you can add more. It comes with Perl. Comes with Python. I think that's kind of neat because for a long time Apple was for the rest of us, it was for non-geeky users, and now here you've got this great Macintosh user interface, which is I think very easy and intuitive. It's a GUI just like Windows is, and
after seeing the Tiger preview, it was like amazing.
Oh yeah. Tiger's
the
really
RSS
slick.
reader was what got me. Without IE for RSS.
Yeah, I agree with you. In fact, the new, and I would recommend this, by the way, for a browser. Safari, which is the Apple browser, is very good, but the new OmniWeb 5 also has RSS built into it and is a really nice, slick, very fast
Didn't know that.
Browser. Yeah, there's some good, the biggest drawback I would say on the Macintosh right now, from the point of view of Windows users, there's really two. One is that Windows, because it's 95% of the world, everything, if you're developing software, you're going to develop it for Windows. Yeah. Even a lot of Unix applications, they make Windows versions because it's just everywhere. So the variety of software is bigger on Windows. Does that mean that the programs you want and need aren't available on another operating system? No. Most of what you want to do, you can do on any other computer. There are a few specialty items. If, for instance, you become an engineer and you want to use a computer-aided design program, AutoCAD is Windows only, and there's nothing like it on the Mac side. And that's brings up the second issue, which is gaming is not as good on the Macintosh. Most big games end up eventually coming out on the Mac. But there are a lot of games that don't. There's no Doom 3 on the Mac yet. Unreal Tournament came out on the Mac at the same time as Windows. But for the most part, it's not a great gaming platform.
Yeah. But I was looking to, my main concern was really whether I should buy or lease, because I didn't know, like with PCs, they degrade and not get up.
Yeah,
I know the speed after that, but Macs, I don't know.
I think the advice for a Mac is the same for a PC. Apple does have a leasing program for businesses only. And the reason is the lease guys know just as well as you do that the value of the computer drops precipitously the day you take it out of the box. And it continues to go down very rapidly, and by the end of 2 or 3 years, it's almost worthless. So what do? They build that fact into the lease price. Yeah. You're going to pay, if you look at the lease costs, very similar to what it would cost to borrow the money and buy the darn thing. Yeah. And so the only reason to go lease is, and this is the only reason, by the way, Apple leases are for business, is the tax advantage. And I have no idea what the tax advantage is here in Canada, but in the States, there is somewhat of a tax advantage for businesses only to lease. So if you're not a small business, and you could be, by the way, I mean, just because you're a student doesn't mean you can't have a small business, I would say buy. And if you have to finance, go ahead. But you're going to see that the finance costs, if you look at the finance versus leasing costs, are very similar on computers because, look, they're not stupid. The guy's leasing it to you knows that the value is plummeting just as much as you do.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds great.
So buy it. So are you going to buy a PowerBook?
Yeah, I was going for a PowerBook G4. Today it was the new Apple Expo and the new iMac.
Those iMacs are pretty, aren't they? Yeah, they're basically a laptop on a stand. And you notice they put it right next to an iPod to kind of remind you that they're similar. What they've done is they've built the guts of the computer into the monitor. you know, I think you'd be better off with a laptop. It's the same as this, really. You know, you can get a 17-inch laptop. I'm going to come down here and show you. I have my 12-inch PowerBook. The only thing I would say about these PowerBooks is this aluminum case dents very easily. And I've dented mine in a couple of places without even dropping it, you know, just kind of dinging it, you know. Yeah, can you see that? Look at that. So you can see that dent right there. And these are cosmetic. They haven't affected the performance, but I think it is something to be aware of. I like the iBooks polycarbonate case is actually harder and more bump resistant than the PowerBook. So you might even save some money by looking at an iBook. All right?
Okay.
Hey, good luck, Trent. I appreciate your patience. Thanks for holding on so long.
Okay, I'll see you on the wiki because I write on the wiki.
I'll see you on the wiki. I love that. We have some, you know, that because the radio show I use a wiki, which we talked about a little while back with Monica. That means that users can edit the show notes, and so that's kind of fun. That's kind of cool. Hey, we got to run, but I thank you for the call. Take care, Trent. Bye-bye. Coming up, how do you fix a flaky Wi-Fi connection? A lot of Windows XP users have been complaining that their Wi-Fi just goes away from time to time. We found a fix. Andy will show you in just a bit. Stay right here. Welcome back to Call for Help. About a month ago, we had a caller that said, my Wi-Fi, my wireless networking keeps dropping off on my XP computer. And we sent Andy out in search of an answer, and he has come back and he's got a fix for you. Apparently, this is fairly common on Windows XP.
Yeah, what happens is you have different wireless access points available to you on any given computer. Now, Windows kind of tries to be helpful and says, maybe I can find a better one for you.
So this wouldn't be a problem if there's only one access point.
No.
But if there are and as in many cases nowadays, there's many around. What does it switch around, or what does it do?
It basically looks for the best signal at all times, and basically tunes in. If it finds one with a better signal, it'll tune in and say, well, let's use this one instead.
Right.
So, but if you have one at home and then your neighbors turns it on,
it's tuning into that.
You tune into your neighbors,
and it might not work.
And it might not work because he may have blocked it, or she may have blocked it, or whatever. And I do want to thank these dudes at Mobile PC.
It's a good magazine.
Because they really helped me figure this problem out.
Okay, good.
I started poking around.
All right, a plug for Mobile PC.
There we go.
And I actually read about this first in Wired News online at wired.com back in June. But they weren't sure what the cause was. There was the hypothesis that it was this zero wireless config.
Yeah, wireless zero configuration.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you how to turn it off.
Okay, good.
So let's go into Windows XP here. I'm going to click on Start and then to Control Panel. And I'm going to go to the Administrative Tools. And I'm going to go down to Services. And services are little like programs that run in the background, do all kinds of cool Windows tasks.
So that's again Start.
This goes again Start.
Because if you go too fast, I can't follow you. Start, Control Panel,
I'm going to go
Administrative Tools. Now you'll have to be the administrator login to see these.
You do, that's right.
All right.
That's right.
And then go to Services.
So you're going to go to Services.
Okay, this is all the services that are running.
So if you wonder why there's no memory left on your computer, this
Now
is
you
why.
know.
There are lots of little things that are running.
Everything that says automatic runs when you first boot up.
That's right. So I'm going to open this up so we can see all the kinds of things that are running. But I'm going to, if we go down here to wireless, see wireless zero configuration.
That's the one.
That one right there. And that's actually a description. It explains on what it's doing.
Automatic configuration.
Yeah, for the 802.11, blah, blah, blah.
Which is all well and good unless it doesn't work.
Or it's jumping around and tuning you into your neighbor.
Right.
So right-click on that, go to Properties, and you can see how it's running. In this case, usually the default is automatic.
That means it starts up the minute you boot.
Right. So you can set it to manual, you can set it to disable. If you disable it, it will never come on again unless you turn it on. What I like to do is I go right-click, and I'm going to say stop. Bye-bye.
So you just stop it.
So WZ.
Okay. Now,
config
when you reboot,
goes.
it'll start up again.
If you
haven't
push
changed its
stop.
behavior.
That's correct.
Okay.
And I like that because now it's stuck on the one access point.
It's not going to move around.
It's not going to move around. And in fact, if you go to your wireless area and you say refresh network links, you get a message that says
Can't see it.
Cannot configure this wireless connection because the automatic configuration is turned off.
Ah.
Right. Now this is
So that's the side effect of turning off WZC is I cannot find other wireless access points.
That's right. You can't. And until you turn it back on.
Or I'm using a third party. Because many laptops come with, like Intel's comes with its own access software. Does that do the same thing?
It does. It tunes into the access points. In fact, we were having a problem. Monica and I were having a problem with her laptop.
Same thing. It had the Intel software.
Windows was battling away with this Intel Pro.
So in that case, maybe just turn off, disable WZC.
Permanently.
You don't need it.
No, you don't need it.
Okay.
You know, now you have to know to turn it off. And,
right.
You know.
Well, now you know.
Now you know.
Watching,
so
you know. That's good.
it's a fantastic tip and something I really appreciate. Figuring it out.
So if you have problems with your wireless internet access dropping out from time to time on XP, turn off wireless zero configuration. For more details on how to do that, we just showed you, but you can also go to the show notes, callforhelptv.com.
There you go.
Excellent! Excellent. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
I'm glad we could solve that. That's just one that's been bugging a lot of people, I know, for a long time. Are you ready? It's time for our quiz, our question of the day. Which operating system was made by IBM? I don't think they make it anymore, but they did make it for quite a while. Was it OS2, Windows, DOS, or IBM NIX? I think it was not the IBM NIX. Get to the website, give us the answer. We'll tell you in just a little bit. Which was the first operating system produced by IBM?
I like that IBM NIX. That's a good name.
What? A call for help? Hello? Oh, Monica's got it. It's time for another call for help. Monica, who's on the line?
We've got Jim from East Alton, Illinois.
You look so good in a cowboy hat. It's just so cute.
So.
Hey, Jim.
Welcome back, Leo.
Thank you. It's so good to be back.
We missed you.
Yeah, I missed me too. You know what I missed, Jim? I missed the paychecks. But I'm glad to be working again.
Well, yeah, but at a certain age, you don't want to work anymore, do you?
No, I don't. You know, this isn't work. It never has been for me. I've always enjoyed it. And the truth is, I mostly miss doing the show. So I'm glad that I can do it. So I'm glad you could call in.
Well, so am I.
What can I do for you?
Well, I'd like to know whether it'd be possible to use several browsers and keep track of the history of where I've gone. It's too easy to lose a site. I think I'm older than you are, even.
No, not possible.
So memory begins to fade.
I know. Yeah, sure. You go, I saw that somewhere. Now where?
Yeah, now where? And the problem is that, like the SBC browser doesn't even have a history mode that I can access.
It doesn't? That's so silly. It's Internet Explorer, you know, by the way. It's not.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, but I asked them about that.
They messed it up,
and they hadn't set up for that. But yeah, I use Internet Explorer, and you're the one that got me started on Mozilla and Firefox. So
yeah, Andy's got a question for you, Jim. What's the problem, Andy?
Well, why would you want to combine your history files?
Why would you want to?
Oh, yeah, he's so young,
so that
Jim.
I could actually find where I've been if I need to go back.
It's because he's a kid, Jim. He doesn't know. He remembers where he's been.
Right. Yeah, you know, this Internet stuff. I saw it back in '75 when they put it down in Carbondale, but
wow,
it wasn't that impressive, actually.
Not then, no, because nobody was on it, right?
That's right.
The power of the Internet comes from the fact that lots of people on it.
A Star Trek game back then, but
oh yeah, that's right. It was called Space Wars.
And you needed cotangents and arctangents and all that. So I just stood there and got my ass beat. And said, all
those trigonometry nerds are really good at that game. Let me show everybody what you're talking about, Jim. This is Internet Explorer, and if you click the little sundial here, or is it a clock? I don't know. You get the history of where you've been, and that's the whole thing. And every page that you go to, this is today, this is yesterday, this is last week. This is 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Everywhere you've been is recorded. Now, some people go, what?
Yeah.
Oh, no! And they're quickly trying to find their history. You can easily clear it. Similarly, in Firefox, history isn't on the toolbar in this version of Firefox.
Right.
But you can look at it if you go to the Go and history or just type Control-H. And it's very similar. It's just, 4 days ago. And, by the way, like you, I like history. So what I do is I turn up by default, they don't keep the history information for very long. Let's see if I can find it here. 9 days by default in Firefox, for instance.
Right.
I always set that to like 120 days because I go back 4 months. I'm more, really.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, it's out there somewhere. And,
right. What's the limit?
we've got a lot of lost stuff over the years.
I don't know if there is a limit, Andy. Andy's saying, is there a limit? I don't know. I set it pretty long because I guess you could set it for 365. Now, ironically, I have found an answer to your question on the Mac side. There's actually a couple of really cool programs that do exactly like this. This is called Herodotus, who is the great Greek historian, and it supports all the browsers on the Mac and combines the history into one file that you can search. But I have yet, and maybe somebody will help me and enlighten me, I have yet to find anything like Herodotus on Windows. There ought to be something like that on Windows.
Yeah, in DOS we used to be able to put X tree together and
sure.
Yeah,
the problem with
this Z tree, so why don't they let us do that?
Part of the problem here, Jim, is that Explorer stores the history in the registry. Firefox stores it as a text file, so they're different formats. But a program could, in theory, read these and combine them.
Yeah.
Maybe some
There's
smart
lots of
programmer.
smart kids out there.
Yeah, maybe some smart programmer will say, hey, those old timers want this. We'd pay for it, wouldn't we, Jim?
Yeah, oh, you bet.
Heck yes. Hey, Jim, I don't know of an answer. We'll see if we can find one for you. But thanks for the call. I appreciate it. It's great talking to you.
Well, thank you, and it's been good listening to you.
Oh, good. Well, yeah, you can. Well, when the show's on, you can watch your answer later. Thanks for the call. All right.
Okay.
Take care, Jim.
Take care.
That's maybe something exists. I looked and looked because I knew I knew Jim was going to call a couple of days ago, and I have not been able to find anything that does that on Windows. Why not? There should be. Somebody should write a program like that. All right. Anyway, coming up in just a little bit, Monica's been showing those flashing those flashcards. Remember those?
I'm in Flash.
I love flashcards. My kids use them to learn multiplication, but she says she's got a better way to do it. It's time for our free file of the day. I have about 5 of these. I keep buying them because the kids lose them, and then I find them again and stuff. And they still
don't
haven't
lose them.
Yeah, maybe
They.
that's right. Maybe you're right. They're not losing them. Darn little kids.
Darn, I lost.
So here's
those
something
things.
they can never lose.
Well.
They can erase.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
see ya. There they go. That's what they do to them.
So what do you got here for?
Well, today's free file is pretty much flashcards, but on the computer.
Great.
So, you can just do it on your own as a student. Great for
MathMatic.
Yeah, those starting the multiplications table.
This is the hardest thing in the world to learn, and you got to learn it.
Yeah, I wish I had this when I was a student.
You'll be at a disadvantage. Yeah, my dad sat me down with a piece of paper, and he beat me until I memorized it. No.
Yeah.
But I did learn them, and my kids haven't because I just haven't really. So maybe this will help.
Yeah, this will help. So I don't know if you can. Oh, okay, good. You can see it. So you can pick which tables you want.
Yes, you take out the one table.
Yeah.
No point.
One table.
Everybody knows the one table. I took out the ones and zeros. The kids were mad at me. They said, but those are the ones we know, Dad. Give us a break.
Those are the ones we know.
Get it?
Okay. You can also click to see if you're an expert, if you're getting better, if you wanted to ask you randomly or in order.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So we're really good, so we're experts here.
Yes, we are.
You can also print drill sheets so if you want to quiz them.
Yeah, that's what I need. Yeah.
So let's say you want to start calculating. Ta-da!
50.
Okay. So of course it's much easier if you have
If you could type 6.
a numerical.
Is there a timer? This is too easy.
There is a timer right here. So let's see if you can beat it.
16. 40. See, this would be really great for the kids.
Oh.
The problem is it's not a game. I mean, it's just you got to do it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So and it keeps score, of course.
Well, that
so
makes
that
it fun.
You can keep track of that.
That's cool. MathMatic.
It's simple. You can actually customize the look and the sound.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What's 0 times 0? 0 times 0.
0, and that is the price of this program.
See, she's been practicing. Thank you, Monica. Find a link to MathMatic at callforhelptv.com and send your suggestions to Monica at callforhelptv.com.
Yeah.
In just a bit, we're going to talk about music, making music with your Xbox or your PS2. Magazine editor Andrew Crispin is here with some cool stuff you can do with your gaming machine. Stay right here. Right there. Hey, Andrew. How you doing? Welcome. Play some games here.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Call for Help. Joining us right now, Andrew Crispin. He is the editor of Hub Digital Living magazine and Total Gamer magazine. How do you find time to do all that? And he plays games. He's going to show us the MTV Music Generator 3. This is the remix. and the Funk Master Flex Digital Hits Factory.
Some of the longest titles in gaming ever, I think. Yeah,
I just
sure.
like saying Funk Master. That's all.
Well, you know, Funk Master's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Oh, there's a person named Funk Master?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, see, I was going to give you the title.
With the apostrophe. Oh, well, I'll take it.
You
Sure.
are the Funk Master
I'll be the
right
Funk
now,
Master for
baby.
today, yeah.
So instead of playing games on our Xbox or PS2, we're actually making music.
Yeah, it's sort of a rudimentary music editor. You know, it's basically you get a bunch of samples on the disc, load them up, and then it's sort of like a usual sort of sequencer style where you put samples here and put samples there and then play them through.
We've seen things like this on the PC, of course. This is which one do we want to do first?
I think we're going to do Funk Master Flex's Digital Hits Factory
Funk
first.
Master Flex. Okay, let's get funky with that. That's a PS2 game?
Yeah, that's a PS2.
Go ahead, pick it.
Right.
How does these compare with the ones on the PC?
Poorly, to be perfectly honest.
Because you could put new loops in the PC ones. And
exactly. Yeah. No, the sampling options are somewhat limited on both the games. Well, games.
Would you say they're aimed at kids then?
It's sort of aimed at anyone who just wants to sort of futz around with music a little bit. It's sort of just a fun thing to do. It's not really a game,
right,
but it's certainly not like a full function.
That might get you started then, and then you could move on.
I think that's the idea. I think that's sort of the idea. Get you sort of started to be a little bit interested.
Mr.
Right.
Funk Master
Can I have
Kristen
some
Moore? Can we have some music? We need to see the video before we can play this.
Video, please.
We're going to pull it up here in just a second.
All right, no problem. Well, I can just hit play and it'll just play through. Now, this one here has some of the sort of the lamest samples in the world. It's actually quite amusing.
Did you make this one, or is this one that came?
I made this, yeah, but you have to use all the samples that are included. You can bring in your own. It's something of a
how would you bring in your
process. It ships with this little Funk Master Flex, etc. Ships with this little USB dongle here.
The gesture. So this gesture allows you to hook it up to what? A computer?
No, to your. It has USB ports on the front of the PS2 here.
I see. So you put. Oh, I see. You put the audio in here.
Yeah. So it comes with a mic, so you can sort of sing into the mic, and it also digitize your voice and like synthesize it, so you can add different sounds to your voice. It's kind of neat, and you can also line in like a CD player or like an MP3 player.
Well, that's nice that it has a sampling.
It is neat. Yeah. It's a little iffy. Trying to navigate with the control pad is far from optimal.
That's part of the reason a PC is more powerful. You've got more powerful input.
Exactly.
Well, let's hear it anyway.
Okay,
let's
sure.
play your funky music, Jam Master.
So here, actually, I'll take it down to one of the vocal samples so you can hear.
A hot croissant is thrust at me.
This guy's saying that a hot croissant
is thrust at me.
Yeah.
I'll cry.
See, I think part of the
Quebec?
beauty of this. Actually, it was made in my apartment.
That's you?
Yeah. No. Give me some credit. No, I think it's it's.
Let's hear the full mix. Can we hear the whole song?
I don't think you want to hear the whole song. Oh, there we go. See.
So you don't play it all the way through. You actually have to move through it to hear the.
You can do it. You basically you sequence all this stuff in. You bring in the samples from the disc. You can sort of. I think there's 3 female vocals, 2 male vocals, and they have sort of a wealth of just little quick expectorations kind of thing, like hit me and a hot croissant is thrust at me.
A hot croissant is thrust at me.
I thought you might like that.
Hot croissant is thrust right at me.
Thank you. Very nicely done. Very nicely.
So that's the.
That's Funk Master Flex's Digital Hits Factory.
It is indeed, and it has down at the bottom right or bottom left. It has a little video thing that sort of functions in much the same way. Sort of, yeah.
How much is this?
This is $59.95, I do believe.
Including, so you get
and it comes with a little
gesture
mic
plug-in
and a little mic too.
And a mic. Well, see, I can see how kids might play with this. It gives them the concept of what a loop is, how a mix works, how you add samples. I mean, conceptually, you're learning something.
I think it's sort of you start off on one of these things.
Why don't you come in here, Mikey, and switch us over? Can you see his feet? Anyway, we got somebody behind me switching Mikey. There he goes. He's crawling out now.
It's on the fly, man.
So he switched us over to the Xbox now.
Okay, are we on the Xbox?
Yeah, the MTV Music Generator 3. This is the remix.
Oh, it's a demo mode. That's handy.
All right.
No, so this one is it doesn't have quite the sampling options of the.
You can't add samples to it.
You can't. You can.
Which is funny because you have a hard drive in the Xbox. It could at least store them.
Yeah. What you can do is you can rip segments from songs that are already on your hard drive in the Xbox. You can rip them and bring them in as a sample. However, you have to queue it up before on like a regular CD player to know where you want to loop it from, and you can only do one bar at a time. It's really weird, but it has like way more industry cachet, I suppose you'd say. It has.
It's got MTV.
And yeah, it's artists like Snoop Dogg and
Snoop Dogg's on here?
Yeah, Sean Paul and
so the Flexmaster only has the Flexmaster stuff.
No, it has Funkmaster Flex and some other sort of no names, I guess you'd call them.
So the Xbox
Not to be
is
too
a little
cool
more
or
star
anything,
power.
Yeah, it definitely has more
You don't
star
want to
power.
be dissing Funkmaster Flex.
No, you don't want to diss Funkmaster Flex because he'll come at you.
He probably will. So let's hear this. It looks a little bit slicker.
It is. It's definitely slicker, and this is actually the Funkmaster Flex is actually developed by the same guys. Some of the core guys who developed MTV Music Generator 2. So, as you can see, I named my songs really geeky names here.
Well, let's hear a song.
All right, let's have this one. This is Sean Paul. We talked about that a little bit. I actually did this one.
AMC can
That's
do.
right. AMC on the mic, as they say. So, yeah, obviously there's load times and all that in the world of console gaming. So if we go down here, we have sort of
same kind of sequencer interface.
Yeah, it's a very similar interface. Over here, you have your again, you run into problems trying to use the control pad. But you have sort of samples, and all the vocals here are like this would be Sean Paul singing, and it's I don't know the name of the song.
Why can't we hear it? Are we, Mikey? Did you? Can you crawl back there again and push it?
Help us out here, Mike.
So I want to hear it.
It's all It's all Sean Paul's vocals from the song. So basically, as is hinted in the subtitle, this is the remix. There we go. You're essentially just remixing someone else's songs, right?
Oh, okay.
So,
but that's fun. I think my daughter would enjoy it.
It is. You know what? That's the whole point. I think, from a pure fun standpoint, I think that's the idea.
Because they're real songs that they know, right?
Yeah. No, you're not gonna. If you have delusions of grandeur, this isn't really gonna. And that, as anything other than novelty, it doesn't really go much further than that. But if you want to open up the door to, think.
Which do you recommend of these two?
If I had to recommend one, I think I'd probably have to recommend MTV. Okay. Funkmaster Flex has the better sampling options and the video aspect, but this one it just seems more fun, and it just seems sort of better, better thought out kind of thing. In the other one, you're sort of trying to, mouse around kind of, but you don't have a mouse. It's sort of bizarre. So we're getting jiggy.
Go, Leo.
Getting jiggy.
Go, Leo.
Andrew Moore Crispin is the editor for Digital Hub Digital Living, and
Total Gamer Magazine.
Total Gamer Magazine. And if you want to know more about all of this, of course, callforhelptv.com. We're going to have some more phone calls in just a bit, but I need my hat if I'm going to really do this right.
I'm bad at
We'll be back with more Call for Help in just a minute, okay? So right here. Welcome back to Call for Help. Before the break, we asked you, should we do the quiz now? Or was I supposed to do it before? No. Later.
No.
Later. We'll save it later. But let's take another caller right now. How about that? Monica Latangwa. You got anybody else on the line for me?
Yeah, we have Chris from West Hill, Ontario.
Yay! Do they wear cowboy hats in West Hill, Ontario, Chris?
No, Leo, it's just part of Toronto. Just the eastern end of the city, that's all.
Well, there's no excuse for Monica's cowboy hat then, I guess.
I'm just having a bad hair day.
Oh, is that it? She doesn't want you to see the hair. That's it. Hey, Chris, welcome to the show. What can I do for you today?
Question for you, Leo.
Yes, sir.
I've been trying to use AirSnare in my office. I've recently added wireless access to some of the workstations here, and I've been tinkering with AirSnare for a little bit, and I've got a couple of workstations that I've properly configured it. I've added it to the trusted list there, and it just keeps reporting it as being an intruder on my network.
Oh, that's annoying.
It is. There's about 3 or 4 stations I'm having this issue with. So I was wondering if there are any other programs out there that do the same thing as AirSnare.
Yeah, there are actually quite a few programs out there that do the same thing as AirSnare. Let me just show people real quickly what AirSnare is. This is for Wi-Fi, for a wireless network. You want to, because you're wireless, especially in a corporation, this becomes an issue. You're allowing, in theory, others onto your site, or onto your network, I should say. So what AirSnare does is it watches accesses as they happen. You can tell it which addresses to not worry about, and then it'll warn you. It'll actually send an alarm when you have unfriendly devices accessing your network. The MAC address, by the way, is a unique number that's assigned to every network device, in theory unique to each network device. So you did, AirSnare, by the way, is free. Jay DeBoer did it and gives it away. You probably follow the instructions, which is to dump the, let it run for a while without any MAC addresses, and then dump those unfriendly MAC lists to autotrustedmac.txt, right?
That's correct.
And that autotrusted list supposedly tells AirSnare which devices to be allowed, the auto-trusted list, and which devices not. Once you've dumped that list to the auto-trusted, edit it as you choose. Shouldn't be anything bad on there unless you've got an intruder. And this is what we've done here. And you can see we've got all of these friendly MAC addresses already entered in, and we don't have any unfriendly MAC addresses. If somebody should access my wireless network, I would get an alarm, and it would say there's somebody in there. And then we could use something like Ethereal or something else to monitor what's going on with there. I'm not sure why the problem. You shouldn't be seeing these addresses, but there are commercial solutions, certainly. In fact, I've got a number of them in the show notes. Did we install any of those, Mikey? Because I made a list. Most of them are not free. I guess that's probably why we didn't install them. I found one that's about, I think, $50. It's not too expensive for you. And I can't for the life of me remember the name of it off the top of my head.
There is,
Do you have that there?
I don't have anything here, but I did come across something called Snort for Windows, which is network intrusion.
Yeah, what Snort does is actually watches the traffic and allows you to take a look at it. But it might also allow you to say, hey, somebody's in there.
It looks
What's
like it has
the URL
alarms.
on that one? Because Snort's been around for quite a while. Have you tried Snort, Chris?
I can't say that I have.
Yeah.
Snort for Windows is called.
Yeah, Snort normally is a Unix device, but here's a Windows
and it's open source
port for it. It's an intrusion detection system, watches real-time traffic. It's actually, the neat thing about Snort is that you can actually see what people are doing on your system, which is, so it's a little bit more sophisticated.
Snort.org.
Yeah. Snort.org is the Unix, and then there's a Windows port of it by at datanerds.net. That might be a good choice for you. That's free because it's open source as well. And I love the thing about Snort is it really can tell you a lot about what's going on. You can actually see the traffic. You can see what those people are doing on your system. Instead of just warning you about them, it actually does some protocol analysis and content searching. It can tell you what kinds of attacks are being used, well-known attacks, so forth. So it's a little bit smarter than AirSnare.
Okay.
I would recommend that. We'll put a link to that. Well, you've got snort.org, but and then we also had what was it? CommView, CommView. There it is. Okay, and that was another program that I had found that does something similar, but it's not cheap. It's $129, but that might also be something you'd like to take a look at, and it's very sophisticated. You can get even more sophisticated. There are actually companies, because this is something big corporations are doing now that they're putting in wireless network in the companies, you can actually buy servers that will sit there and watch, hardware devices that will sit there and watch as well. But this is free, so not free, this is inexpensive. So try Snort, and if that doesn't work for you, CommView from Tamosoft is another good choice. Okay, Chris?
I appreciate that, Leo.
Yeah, thank you for
very
the call. Yeah, something important to do. If you've got a wireless network, you've got to secure it. And more than just putting WEP on it or WPA to encrypt it, or even just guarding against MAC addresses, I think MAC filtering is a very effective way. It's probably a good idea to also monitor it and see what kind of activities are going on in your network, too.
You'd be surprised how many teenagers are poking in your network at home.
Absolutely. And, of course, we've just given these teenagers all sorts of new tools they can use to play with it. Thanks for the call, Chris. Coming up, we're going to take some more of your calls. We've got some great stuff from Monica, a wacky site. But first, I want to give you one more chance to take our daily quiz. And this is just for fun, folks. No great prizes to give away, but just to test your knowledge. Which operating system used to be produced by IBM? Which of these came out from IBM? Was it, actually, you could say that IBM DOS, PC DOS. So maybe we'll leave PC. Well, we're not looking for PC DOS. Was it OS2, Windows, DOS, or IBM NIX?
My favorite.
That's the one I want.
Yeah.
Get to the website, give us the answer. We'll talk about it. We'll call for help. Welcome back to Call for Help. Before the break, we asked you which of these was produced by IBM. I'm going to have to make a judgment call here because I think IBM did produce a DOS. It was called PC DOS, but we were looking for OS2. Now, you want to know the real irony of this? There's a lot of people who say, well, the funny thing is OS2 was pretty much written by Microsoft. For a while, Microsoft and IBM were in bed together.
Yeah.
And OS2 was developed mostly by Microsoft engineers and Windows NT, mostly by IBM engineers. And then somehow they got swapped, and IBM ended up with OS2, and Microsoft ended up with NT, and guess which one took off, and which one went... OS2 actually was really great for the time. It was a really robust, powerful, reliable operating system. They even had Windows 3.1 compatibility built into it.
Cool.
But when Windows 95 came out, Microsoft said, we're not giving you the Windows 95 code. And so OS2 basically died because it couldn't run Windows 95 software. Warp, remember that? OS2 Warp.
OS2 Warp, yeah, that was. Yeah. And in fact, a lot of banks ended up using that.
Absolutely. They still do, I think.
Some of them still do. It was rock solid.
Yeah,
it was rock
very
solid.
reliable. It was a great operating system, but just never managed to make it. You're glazing over, Monica. You don't care one bit, do you?
I know. My little geek alarm should be going.
Okay, guys. Thanks for sharing. So Monica's got something for everyone. This is a fun site.
Yeah, this is totally not geeky. It's actually a fun site. Some clean humor in there, but then there's also not so clean humor.
How adult does it get? I mean, really inappropriate or PG-13? X? R?
X.
So pretty. So this is not something to send the kids over to.
No, something sent to Andy.
Yeah, that's right. It was kind of adult, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was.
Well, the irony is my kids love this site, so now I should be worried, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you should actually.
Okay. There is fun stuff, though. There's
fun stuff. We'll do some fun stuff.
Show us some silly stuff.
So it's ebaumsworld.com. And
who is this Ebaum?
Don't know.
No one knows.
Don't know.
Okay.
Who knows?
Very funny person.
But we're in his world. So let's see some.
So we've got funny images, office humor, which is what I targeted Andy with.
Okay.
Funny video, which I've got one lined up.
Human resources on line 4 for Monica. Okay.
Okay. So let's play this video that I picked out.
Brought to you by Ebaums World.
Can you see it?
Oh, they can't see it because it's overlay video. You know what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to shoot it. So let me turn it around here.
Okay.
And maybe we can get one of the cameras to come down and take a look at the PC.
Let's get the audio up there.
Can you do that,
Actually,
Sri?
You don't even need
we're going to get Zdenko to shoot the screen, and then we'll show it again. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Zdenko. And now play your video. There we go. Now he'll be able to see it, right? No, Zdenko has to shoot this, guys.
Camera 3.
There we go.
Oh, you missed
You missed the fun part? Is this guy hurting himself? Is this fun with nunchucks? What is this?
I think he's trying out for
Is there audio on it? Okay.
No.
Oh, that's good. Oh, not good. No. Oh, ow. Oh. Now, is that real? See, that's the funny thing, is these are often real outtakes from...
Yeah.
Oh, this guy hurt himself. Oh, man.
It's hilarious. There's
you got?
this one here,
Okay.
yeah. It's, you don't want to... Oops.
Good job, Zdenko. You keep up the good work there. He's shooting that perfect.
It's this landslide.
Oh, my gosh.
Look at that. See, these are sort
Why
of
is the guy
extreme
standing
videos. I know. I'd be running.
Get out of there. Get out of there. Run. I guess
Can you
it's
imagine if you were driving down that road and that happened?
Goodness.
Look, there's a wide shot.
There's a hole in the ground. So this is just a collection of the kind of video that if you get emails from friends where they send you video clips, this is the kind of stuff you find here.
Yeah, it probably came from here.
Yeah.
So it's a huge collection.
But again, we want to warn you, there is some stuff that is really for adults.
Yeah,
only.
So don't do this at work.
Not safe for
not work friendly.
NSFW, as they say.
NSFW.
Not that I know that by any means.
So there's even magic illusions. So let's see have you seen this before?
No, you got to show Zdenko if you're going to do it.
Right.
We can't leave out our audience.
Actually, no.
This one will work.
See that.
All right, let's see. So what is it? So what do I do?
Can you do a close up? Can you count how many F's there are on that thing?
Finished files are the result of years of scientific study combined with the experience of years.
How many F's can you count?
I would say 1, 2, 3, 4.
4?
Yeah.
Is that your?
I say 4.
Is that your final answer?
I count it. That's my final answer.
Okay.
Regis.
There are 6.
6.
Yeah.
I missed a few.
You
Finished
missed a
files
few.
are the result of. I missed 2 ofs.
Yeah,
that's what I missed. Those ofs.
If you spotted 4, you're above average.
Oh, I'm above average.
Cool. If you spot 5, you turn your nose at most anybody, and if you caught 6, you are a genius.
I missed the ofs. Wow.
Yeah.
Can you find anything on there that'll make me be a genius?
Andy, can you
Show
work
me
on
something they'll make that I can do they'll say I'm a genius. That's fun. Do you have optical illusions and stuff too?
Yeah, optical illusions.
Let's see an optical illusion.
I found out who this Ebaum guy is, though.
Oh, yeah?
That's what I've been looking for. A guy called Eric Bauman. He from Brighton, New York.
He just collects these, huh?
Yeah, and he says this is his personal collection.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this.
This is trippy.
Yeah.
All right.
It's kind of moving, too.
Callforhelptv.com for all of Monica's picks. The monster pick of the day.
Yeah.
We'll be back with the final word, and we'll tell you how you can be on the show, too, as Call for Help continues. You stay right here.
Yeah. So that's Ebaums
That's
World.
creepy.
Ebaums World is weird. Look at that. Well, we know this one. We've seen this one. You want to see that video of that?
Yeah. Is this the third show we've done there?
Yeah.
3. We can't stop watching Ebaums World. This is shocking, shocking. Welcome back to Call for Help. Monica has found a site that we could just obviously spend a lot of time on. Now I'm worried, though, because literally my daughter has been looking at sites on this. But that's the thing, is teenagers, she's only 12, but teenagers pass this stuff around. Yep. It's on the net.
I think they're getting more mature, by the year. The internet provides kids with anything they want to see.
Is that good or not?
Personally, I think it's good because I think it hardens them.
When you have kids,
yeah,
it hardens them. Good. Yeah, let's have some hardened children.
It's a hard world.
I think children should be hardened at an early age.
It's a hard world.
This is Andy's philosophy. It's good because it hardens them. Oh, look at there's a dancing cat.
Dancing cat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Now, see, unfortunately, we got to figure this out and I should explain why that happens because you may have had that on your own experience yourself. Is that video when it's playing on your computer, particularly with DVDs, is not actually playing through the frame buffer that's on the video card. It's playing directly to the screen. So you can shoot it on the screen, but if you're trying to capture it, for instance, if you have one of the screen capture programs, the movie capture programs, and you try to capture this, you'll get a black box where the video is because the video is actually being blasted directly onto the screen. It's directly played. They call it overlay video.
Is that a Windows-only situation, or is it?
I think it's actually in the hardware. I think it's a hardware issue. So any operating system would have this same problem. So it really, I think it comes from the fact that, at least for a long time, video cards couldn't keep up with the video, right? So it's similar, analogous to when you're listening to a CD, an audio CD on your computer. The truth is you're not listening to through your sound card. It's being passed through your sound card. That's why you have a connection that's coming out of the CD player into your sound card. That analog audio is actually just passed right through the sound card. So when you listen to an audio CD, you're not listening to a digitized experience. It's the audio. And I think the same thing basically is happening here. The video is being passed, in effect, passed through the video card. And that's why we just had that problem, which we'd never experienced before, but now we know. But I'm glad, thanks to it wasn't Zdenko, it was Charles. Wait a minute. What's going on? They moved him around. You can't change cameramen on me like that.
It's an illusion. See what Ebaums World does to you?
How do you find those sites? What do you do? Do you have a magic trick?
It's just a lot of browsing, and you get funny stuff
it's
through
a good
your
job,
email,
though, isn't it?
kind of like what I did to Andy.
You can, we won't tell them what you said to Andy.
No.
But it's a good job where you can be browsing around on the net looking for wacky stuff, and somebody says, "Well, get to work." You say, "I am."
I am working.
I am.
Doesn't everybody have a friend that sends us stuff?
Yeah, unfortunately, I block most of those people. I have filters for that. Hey, thank you for joining us. We're so glad you're here. Please come back again next time. If you've got a problem with your personal confuser, don't whine, don't moan, don't yell. Just call for help! Oh, you are having a bad day. Oh, my. See you later. Bye-bye.